Welcome to Back to School Night. My name is Valentino and I am your child's process technology teacher for the year. What my goal is today is to explain to you what the class is and what's expected of the students in the class. Now, first off, this is Introduction to Process Technology 1. It is an elective at the high school and it is one of the most interesting classes and most useful classes that I feel that we have in the school. But a little bit about myself first. I graduated with a Bachelor's of Science in 2001 from Rutgers College of Engineering with a Ceramic and Materials Engineering degree. My goal was to do something with fiber optics and lasers. Went back to get my Master's in Manufacturing Engineering, and then I quite didn't like it that much, so I ended up going the alternate route and became a teacher. Now, in 2012, I got my Master's from Seton Hall University in Educational Instructional Design, which is pretty much building lessons with technology. One of the more useful things to have nowadays. I also have a technology certificate from there, which helped me become an Apple teacher here at Linden, and I'm also part of the Vanguard here, which is one of the teachers that helps actually teach the other teachers how to use all the computer programs. All right, so I am very versed in the WebEx and Canvas and all the other technological things that we do here at Linden. As far as me as a teacher, some classes that I teach, I'm mostly a math teacher. I only do teach this year one process technology class. It's the only elective I teach. I've taught Algebra 1 and Algebra 2, Geometry. This is my 7th year teaching Calculus. My 5th year teaching the process technology class. And then I also teach an IB Math Applications and Interpretation SL class for juniors. And top of that, I've been teaching since 2004-2005 year. So this is my 16th year of teaching. Time flies. And I'm also a wrestling coach here. I've coached the middle school and the high school in the past. Currently I am one of the high school assistant coaches. A little bit about the class. The purpose of this class is to prepare for life after high school. Now after high school, pretty much what we want to deal with is getting into the process technology field. All right, now, there's 2 routes to go to do this. One is to go to Middlesex County College, which offers a 2-year degree, which I'll explain in a little bit. And then once you're pretty much done with that, pretty much have your pick of jobs in the process technology field. And the other one's an ACE program. That's more of a paid internship. And also after that, if you do very well in it, jobs pretty much flow to you. This is a little hard to get into though. Now, here's some things. In this class, what exactly is process technology? I'm just going to shoot through this stuff real quick. Process technology is when you take like a raw material, something that can't be useful by itself, and you do something to that material to turn it into a different material that we can actually use. The most common is if you go over to the refinery, over on 1 and 9 across from the Coles, right by Elizabeth. What you can do, Bayway Refinery, is they take crude oil from the ground, and what they do is they put it through a big heater and they boil it to different temperatures, and they make things such as gasoline, plastics, propane, kerosene, asphalt, all different types of crude oil based products. All right? And there's other things in that refinery. There's power plants, PSE&G uses process technicians. What they do, and them and Linden cogeneration plant over there, they take water, they heat it up really hot to make steam. That steam spins like giant fan-like blades that are called turbines, and that produces all the electricity for Linden and the surrounding areas. All right, and then you can work in pretty much oil, gas, chemical, mining a little bit, energy and power, like I just said, food and beverage, people that make food and beverages, water, wastewater treatment, pharmaceutical, and pulp and paper. Now, the career of a process technician. Pretty much what that means is what a process technician does, just so you know what class they're actually taking, is they are the people that pretty much run the plant. If you have an industrial plant, the people that go out there and they turn the valves, they make sure all the machinery is working correctly, they check all the machinery to make sure none of it's breaking down. If it does break down, they troubleshoot it and fix it. Those are the process technicians. They're like the heart of an industrial plant. Now a little bit about the class. The class is taught through Canvas, which is optimal for this virtual setting. There's a combination of Canvas quizzes, PowerPoint presentations, some short video clips, and also some Kahoot games. All right, so that's pretty much how class is. And we also do some types of projects now. As I said before, if you're taking this class, these are the types of careers that you can branch out into. Oil and gas, the actual production of the oil and gas, or the exploration and getting it from the ground, from the ocean. Chemical manufacturing, very similar. What they do is they take the oil and they turn it into different chemicals, and those chemicals they use in real life. So for instance, there's a company, Infinium, oh, there's our bell, don't worry, we have plenty of time. Infinium is another company in the Bayway complex. Phillips 66 refines the gas. Infinium takes some of the oil out, they put additives in it, and then that's what you use when you put oil in your car. You have mining, power generation creates power. Water and wastewater, the water you drink, the water that goes out of your toilets and sinks and sewers afterwards. Food and beverage. In New Jersey, there's Mars over there. Great candy. Pharmaceuticals, Johnson & Johnson, big one. With this vaccine, all the process technicians won't be developing the vaccine for COVID, but when the vaccine comes about, they're the ones that will be creating it. They'll be mixing the chemicals together, making sure the machines are mixing the proper amounts together. They're the people that actually are like the quality control who do everything else. And then pulp and paper, turning trees into paper. Discussed Middlesex County College before. Now typically, if we're in real class, I would take out a pamphlet and I would hand one to each one of you guys. And this pamphlet describes what Middlesex County College is. Describes what the program at the county college is. So Middlesex, just like Union, is a county college. For this degree, they charge Union County College tuition rates because Union County College does not have this degree. There's actually no other college in New Jersey. I don't even believe in the tri-state area that has this degree. All right. So it's very specific to Middlesex. Now, what it does is they take the process technicians that you don't even have to take this class, but people that want to go into the industry, and they try to teach them all the basics before they actually apply for the job. That way, when you do apply for the job and you have this class, your name is at the top of the list. You're guaranteed an interview. As long as your professor likes you, you're pretty much nearly guaranteed a job because you already know all this stuff before you go into the industry, and they don't have to train you. They don't have to teach you. They don't have to spend all this money on you. So you can just use this degree and be set. Now, Middlesex, let me just tell you a little bit about it, is a 2-year college. Costs about $4,800 a year. That's not terrible nowadays. So your degree will cost you under 10 grand, $10,000. Rutgers now, these are just the 2 schools I went to, so I just tried to compare them, is almost $15,000 a year, and that's without room and board. If you want to go there 4 years, it's about $60,000. And now it's even more. They keep on raising the prices every year. If you want to stay on campus, that's an extra $13,000. Now you're up to almost $30,000 a year, $120,000 before you even graduate. So you're spending over $100,000 more to go to a state college for longer, and you're going to make less money when you come out. Seton Hall, private university, $20,000 a year. So look at this, 1 year, 1 semester here is more than your whole degree in Middlesex. $80,000 if you want to stay there, $140,000 for the whole time. Unless you get student loans or unless you get like scholarships or something. But look at the prices, $140, $110, or $10. All right? Much more economical, much more realistic. Some other things you need to know, only costs $20 to apply. Everyone gets it, you don't even need an SAT. You just need a high school diploma. Rutgers, you have to apply by a certain date. You have to have a high GPA. You have to have a good SAT. And the same thing with Seton Hall. So, Middlesex the way to go. The time, 4 semesters, 2 years. You're done, you got your degree. This is at least 8 semesters, which is at least 4 years for each one of these. All right? Now, another great thing about Middlesex County College, the way they run this program, you can take all the basic college credits in Union County College. So you can take your maths, your science, your Englishes, all at Union County College, okay? And then you would just need to take your specific process technology classes at Middlesex, all right? And this is only 12 miles away in Edison. You do have to go down Route 1, which is a pain, but besides that, pretty good. So let me just explain this county college program to you. All right, and here's how it works. In industry, in process technology, pretty much if you graduate from this program, you're put to the top of the list. Veterans are put second on the list. Diversity hires are third. And then 3 out of every 600 applicants for Phillips 66 that applied last time, I'm on some committee in Middlesex, so this is where I got all this information, had a PTech degree. Guess what? Those 3 out of 600, their name went to the top. Then they put a couple veterans, then they put a couple diversity hires, and then these are the people that get the interview. The other, say, 570 people, even though they might be almost as qualified, you can't interview 600 people. So every one of these 3 people that graduated with that degree got an interview. Every one of them was offered a job. Okay? They don't really care about the interview process. They go to the person that's in charge at Middlesex, who used to be an employee at Phillips 66, and they go, "What do you think?" And the teacher will go, "This is a good kid." They'll be like, "All right, you're hired." That's how easy. But if you're a bad student, obviously, you're not hired. All right, what's a process technician? Once again, they monitor and control mechanical, physical, and chemical changes throughout processes to make a final product. They start up and they shut down equipment. They control, monitor, and troubleshoot that equipment. They analyze and communicate the data, and they maintain a safe work environment. Okay? Maybe you know other people that are interested in this. Middlesex takes people of all ages. Some of the technical skills. Now, you don't need to be a rocket. We actually watched a video. You don't need to be a rocket scientist to do this job, but rocket scientists actually sometimes switch from that profession to this job. You just need basic math and science skills, some health, safety, and environmental knowledge. You need to know about quality control instruments and somewhat computer skills. We're going virtual, so all those computer skills right there. The key is you got to arrive on time, be a good communicator, be a team player, take responsibility for your actions, and just be a good problem solver. Okay, all that is pretty much what they want from a process technician. It's considered a gold-collar job. Why? They start at over $50,000 a year. That's about the same salary as a teacher. Teacher has to go now pretty much for 6 years because they don't really hire teachers unless they have masters. Earning more than $70,000 a year after 3 years experience, okay? Speaking for most teachers, this is at least 10 years of experience. So you could be 2 years after college, you're pretty much 20. Say a year or 2 after that, you could be making 21, 22 years old, making 70. Some of them make upwards of 80, 90, even 100,000, depending on how much overtime they put in. All right, this is just a demonstration there. So that's the Middlesex program. The second thing I try to teach students to do. If you can't do that, we're going to take the knowledge from this class, and you can go apply it to the ACE program. What that stands for is Advanced Careers in Energy. So pretty much you have a Linden cogeneration plant right over in Bayway Refinery. It takes water from the Arthur Kill, it superheats it, turns it to steam, and that steam also creates heat. That heat and the steam both spin turbines, create gas. That's why it's cogeneration, 2 generations, and it creates electricity. So they use the heat off the steam to create more steam, so you have like double turbines going. They take a bunch of students from Linden. Last year they took 2. The year before I think they took maybe even 3. 6-month paid internship with good pay. What they do is they give you good work experience. You get a boiler operating Black Seal license upon graduation if you pass the test. This thing is impossible to get unless you do an internship, and this is one of the only places that does one around here. And this, once you get this, it's like gold. You could pretty much work for any type of power generation company because they all use boilers. And if you have a Black Seal license, that like moves you to the top of any list. All right? Phillips 66 is, they provide a lot of money to this program. They help donate a 3D printer to us, a lot of the manipulatives that we'll use when we come back. Unfortunately, a lot now is more lecture-based and what would be pretty much book-based because of the virtual world. Some companies in New Jersey. And then really quick, the way this class is taught, the day what we're doing stuff is on my canvas. I made a little syllabus. What can happen is, this tells you, okay, 9-3, this is what I'm doing. These days, this is what I'm doing. This is the PDF of the PowerPoint. I go through a PowerPoint with the students. I try to explain everything on the PowerPoint. as I'm taking the PowerPoint, either afterwards they're going to take a Kahoot, as a class we'll discuss the PowerPoint, or as I'm taking the PowerPoint, we click on one of these things and we take a little quiz on it. It's just to make sure they're following along, they're getting what they're understanding. And then sometimes I play a couple videos for them, but if we watch videos, we have a quiz on the videos to make sure they understood what was going on in the videos. Once again, we'll discuss it afterwards. Some advantages: virtual learning has tons of disadvantages. One, we were building, had the National Guard come in last year, we built robots, these cool robots made out of metal, and they had these really expensive controllers, and they were able to pick up stuff, drive around the class. Can't do that this year. But now every second of every lesson I post on YouTube in case anyone misses anything. Every step of every problem of my notes is on Canvas as a PDF. So pretty much every lecture I turn into a PDF and I put on that Canvas. Right? And that's it. So, I hope you enjoyed the tour. I hope it wasn't too long, but I tried to just, instead of telling you about grading and all the boring stuff that you've been hearing all day, tell you what the class actually is. Because a lot of people hear the word process technician and they either think it's something to deal with computers or they have no clue what it is. So now at least you have an idea of the class they're taking. And hopefully it's interesting to you. Hopefully it's interesting to them. And maybe they can make a career out of it one day. So I hope to meet you guys one day, and I'll see you all at their graduation.